The number 8 star in our study of the 10-star life is the word mystique. Mystique. Now this is different from mysticism, which is some dimension of some kind of esoteric spirituality that makes a person operate in the realm of the supernatural, in quotes, rather than being part of the reality of the earth here. We're not talking about mysticism here. I'm talking about a mystique, and that is a kind of wonder, the kind of awe that your life is supposed to command from people who know you. And a lot of times what human beings are always trying to do around you is to try and define you, to try and decode you. And the moment people can totally define you by being able to predict you, what they want to do is to confine and contain you. You must never give room for that. Jesus always kept people guessing. A lot of times he would do things and people would be like, where did this man get this kind of wisdom from? One moment he was eating with Pharisees, and the next moment he was with a despised sinner, the people that the Pharisees called sinners, and people didn't understand. And a lot of times when he performed miracles, people would begin to try and locate him by his background by saying, oh, is this not the carpenter's son? And the whole idea of that was to try and define him, to try and put him in a mold that they had made, and they want to actually confine him there. People will always want to do that with you. But if you want to live the 10-star life, that's something you must never permit. The people that we call enigmatic are people who are like enigmas. An enigma, of course, is a riddle that you have to crack your brain severally in order to decode or to define. Too many times, greatness is not a function of how many people are able to define you. Greatness is a function of that thing in your life that sometimes make it difficult for people to answer the question, where does this man get this wisdom? How come he does the things that he's doing? And one of the things I found out is when people find it difficult to contain you, they try to give an explanation for it. They just simply mystify you. They now begin to build all kinds of myths around you. I remember way back when I was very young, I used to go watch political rallies, and the very prominent politician in Nigeria at that time, the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo, there were all kinds of stories about him. People would say that, that whenever he wanted to come to town to campaign, he just needed to look at the moon or the sun, and he would see emblems of owl there. There were all kinds of stories. And we laughed at those things as little children because, we just, if the adults were saying so, who are we to disbelieve? There was so much around, so much mysticism, so much mystique around the individuality or the personality of that man that many of us found it difficult to decode. And the reason was simply because he had a way of standing out. His intellect, the way he did things, the achievements that he recorded as premier of the Western region in Nigeria at that time were so mind-boggling that people just believed that this could not just be an ordinary human being. When you see a life that is on course, it is usually on a trajectory that mystifies the average person. It is always good when you have discovered the message of your life and you are preaching that message, you are on that mission. It's important that the dynamics of your movement, the dynamics of your operations should keep people around you guessing.